Get ready for the next battle.
What's going on, everybody? We are back with another Nico's World video, and today I'm going to be talking about a move that Lars players should be using. A lot of people have been asking me for coaching, for training sessions, so I'll leave information about that in the description if you'd like, and if you would like to get a little bit more personal training, check out the description information and go ahead and try to book whatever time works for you. But that's just a quick brief description of how that's going to go down. I'll leave it all in the description below. But I am going to give you guys a little bit of extra information, a little bit of tips, or a tip that you could use to incorporate in your gameplay when you play Lars. So, oh, this controller's messed up. Sorry about that. So, one move that a lot of that I see not a lot of Lars players use, and even in high level, is this move. While standing 3. Oh, sorry about that. This controller's all messed up. But while standing 3, a lot of Lars players don't use this move, and I personally think that it should be utilized a little bit more often. Reason being is because it is +4 on block when you press down, and it is neutral on block when you don't press down. The reason why I personally feel that if you're a Lars player or you're playing Lars and you should be using this move is because since it's +4 on block, it will essentially beat any mid or anything that your opponent may do. It'll beat them out of it, because both of your options from limited entry is 16 frames. 16 minus 4 is 12, so that would beat any down forward one. There are some characters that do have 12 frame mids, like Jin does have one, and it would trade, but it still wouldn't be that great of a trade, because Jin would take more damage in the situation. But I do think that this move is well worth going for, because it could help you employ oh my goodness, this controller. It'll help you employ a mix-up on your opponent and make them second guess. The only thing it would lose to is a dick jab, but if you see them okay, this is annoying. Let me switch controllers real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, that was distracting. But so what was I saying? This attack you should be going for, and some would say it's like, oh, but it's really slow, it's not that fast. It's like, yeah, sure, it's not that fast, but you need to learn how to apply this move. So how do we apply this move? How do we incorporate this in our game plan? So the best success you'll have with while standing 3, since it is on the slower side, is you would want to utilize this after you hit your opponent with like a low, like this, or maybe like this. It is not within those frames. It is a gimmick, but again, I told you guys this before. If your opponent eats an attack, right? And let's say he ate that low, right? And you try to do this afterwards, but he pressed a button and knocked you out of it. That means he did not respect your frames in the first place. Remember, so whenever an opponent disrespects your gimmick, that means he didn't respect that low in the first place, which means next time you put them in a situation, check them. Check them with a faster mid, because you can't let people think that they can just get away with pressing on your frames. Always remember that. Whenever they disrespected you in a certain situation, next time you put them in that situation, check them. Always. But, yeah, so that's the best way you can apply while standing 3. It's usually after a chunkier low, so like Silent Entry 2 would be a great way to incorporate that. Limited Entry 1 would be a decent way to incorporate that. And you could also do Dynamic Entry 3 down, something like that. So there's ways to get not dynamic. There's ways to get while standing 3 incorporated in your game plan, but you have to be smart about it. Don't abuse it because it is on the slower side. And it is linear. This does not track. It has a little weird tracking, but it doesn't track. The tracking on it is not that great. But and it is a high. They can duck this, but again, you want to incorporate it after more, like a low or something like that. Because since this is blocked, it is technically your turn. It is technically your turn. You are +4. Another thing you guys could try to do after you're while standing 3. This will take a little bit of practice. Because the timing on it is a little finicky, but if you do this, oh whoops, see I messed it up. If you do this into that actually does work. That is a actual somewhat of a frame trap, because you're +4 and this comes out in 15 frames, so if they do anything besides a jab, the only thing that would lose to is a jab. But again, if they are gonna jab, all of your options from limited entry beats jabs. So if you see them jabbing, you could do this, and you could do this. Both of those options will crush highs. But if you have them, if they do anything besides that, this will beat them. That will beat them. So if you can incorporate that in your game plan as a mid check, you can potentially get a counter hit off of this. The timing is a little bit finicky. You do have to wait a little bit, wait a brief, very brief, for him to get in the crouching state. But this absolutely can work. I have caught people with this. It can work. So while standing 3, and after you're while standing 3, while crouching down forward 2, you can catch people with this. This does work. And again, if they're after you're while standing 3, if they're jabbing after you're while standing 3, then use your options from limited entry. Both of those will beat highs. Yeah, so you can get creative with it. And one way you would want to check your opponent. So let's say if they're ducking after your limited entry 1, the low, then what you could do as a mid option is while standing 2, 3. That is your mid check from limited entry 1. You definitely want to try to incorporate this in your game plan. That is absolutely, definitely something you want to get that in as you're playing Lars, because it is a mid high. The second hit is duckable, but for another thing, make sure to hold down after this, because I don't know why this is like this, but if you don't hold down, it's launch punishable. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. It's stupid. It should not be punishable. I don't know why it's punishable. If you don't go into stance, it makes no sense, but whatever, it is what it is. But definitely always press down after while standing 2-3. So that would be your mix-up from while standing 3, a plus on block high, and if they duck, thinking that you're gonna do the high, then you can incorporate 2-3. 2-3, while standing 3. 2-3, while standing 3. So definitely try to work that in your gameplay, because if you can pull off this high, it is your turn. And if they duck after this attack, then you're mid while standing 2-3. Then you're +6 in their face, and then they have to guess again. So let's say that they ate this, right? They ate that mid high. Guess what you can do? While standing 3, right? If they don't duck. So then you're plus again, and then they're in the same situation. Essentially, they're in the same situation. So, mid, high, high, mid, high. You see what I mean? You can get creative with it. So try to incorporate while rising 3 in your gameplay. It can make you a little bit more tricky to deal with. Also, if you can do while standing 3 while crouching down forward 2, that is absolutely something to try to incorporate in your gameplay, because that is a counter hit launcher. If you could do this into this, you can absolutely get that. That does work if they press. Also, don't forget, while standing 3 is a launcher on normal hit. So let's do this. Let's say they ate this, right? And you're pressing down after they ate that. If they press, so while standing 3 is 20 frames, which means that this comes out in 14 frames after this attack, right? So if your opponent is just pressing rambunctiously and they're doing something, you know, on the slower side, they're gonna eat this. So you could do this, and if they mistime their button pressing, or if they don't press within the right frames, they can potentially eat this attack. And this is one of Lars's most damaging. 98 damage. That is one of Lars's most damaging launchers. This shit hurts. So definitely try to mix that up with while standing 2-3 and while standing 3. And again, if you could pull off while standing 3 while crouching down for 2, you could potentially get a counter hit off of that. So definitely try to work that in your game plan. Yeah, so that's definitely something you want to try to utilize. Another thing to try to just kind of pay attention, I guess you could say, is if you're fighting your opponent, right, and he's not, and this is blocked, and I do this sometimes, it's a little cheeky, I do this sometimes, but if your opponent is not pressing after this, and you notice that he's not pressing, he's just kind of still waiting there, do the low. Just do it. I mean, yeah, you're minus. It is technically not your turn after this, but you are. It says -11, but they can't really punish you that well. They're not gonna get a good punish off of this, even if they try to. And this has a little bit of pushback. So sometimes dick jabs will whiff. I have seen this happen before, but yeah, if you notice that you do this attack and your opponent is not pressing, just do the low. Just do it. Yeah, you're minus, you know, you are minus, but people be pressing on minus all the freaking time in this game. So this just comes down to paying attention to what your opponent does after this attack. If he didn't do anything, do it. Go for it. But if he tried to take his turn back after you did this attack, don't do it the first time. I won't say do it the first time, but if he did try to take his turn back, then yeah, just go ahead and block. But yeah, while sending 3, while sending 2, 3, you know, try to get a little creative with it. Yeah, so just try to get a little creative with it, you know. Try to incorporate those moves in your gameplay. Practice while standing movement. You need to if you want to be a stronger Lars player, you guys need to learn how to do this. Practice this. You guys, yeah, so definitely try to practice his while standing movement as he's going down. This will make you a little bit more difficult to deal with. And because I've seen some people in my comments say, like, you know, Nico, how do you do that move so fast? It's just timing. It's just a timing thing. It's literally just practice. It's not super difficult once you get the timing down. So just go ahead and practice it, guys. It just takes time. Just look at the animation, because remember, it's a while rising move, right? So he has to be coming up. So after this attack, as he's going upwards, that's when you want to press. See? He has to come up. It's a while rising. So he has to be standing up. Think of it as like a upward, you know? Upward motion. So definitely try to put that in your game plan. But that's gonna do it for today's video. It's just another training tip that I suggest you guys try to use. Again, this works though. This is a gimmick. You can pull it off, but it is a gimmick. It is not within these frames after the low, so it can be disrespected. But again, if they disrespect your frames, remember that, and the next time you put them in that situation, check them always. But that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Again, check the link in the description for more one-on-one training. And I'll be more than happy to help you guys. Go ahead and try to book some appointments with me. I've been really bad with this because there has been people that's been asking me for coaching, but this is kind of my send-off for that. So I'll leave all that information in the description. But yeah, without further ado, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.